Belly fat can be frustratingly hard to get rid of, and for good reason. If you think back to the early days, if you lost body fat easily and didn't come across food for a while, you'd starve to death in no time. Because of this survival instinct, your body does everything it can to keep you from losing weight. The good news is, the strategies I'm going to share with you in this video to help go from looking like this to looking like this naturally will help you fight back and turn your body into a fat burning machine so you can finally lose the belly fat for good. So the key to losing body fat is you need to create an energy deficit, which causes your body to use its stored body fat as fuel for future energy. So I'm going to start with the food side of things, and then I'll cover activity afterwards. So in order to use food to cause your body to just kill body fat, you want to consume food that not only helps you feel full so you don't overeat, but also has a high thermic effect of food. And if you know what that is, it's basically how many calories your body burns just processing the food you eat. And this is what we mean when we say not all calories are created equal. If you want to get technical, all calories are equal going into your mouth. Like how many calories you get from a donut versus a chicken breast, how many you consume are the same. However, what happens inside your body changes that because of the higher or lower thermic effect food, not to mention other things like micronutrients, how it can potentially build some muscle. We'll touch more on that later. Anyway, the thermic effect of food you get from whatever you eat comes down to the macronutrient breakdown of that food. Your macronutrients are protein, carbs, and fat. 1 gram of protein has 4 calories, 1 gram of carbs has 4 calories, and 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. But the thermic effect of food of those are significantly different. So protein comes in by far at the highest, around 20 to 30%, whereas carbs is more about 5 to 8%, and fat comes dead last at around 2 to 3%. So obviously with that, eating a high protein diet is going to be a huge help. I recommend eating around 1 gram per pound of your body weight. Now a lot of times I say goal weight, but in this case, if you're really trying to do everything you can to maximize fat loss, having that higher protein target is absolutely going to help. But if you have a lot of weight to lose, then yes, you can use more of a goal weight or something like lean body mass. The point is, try to eat more protein, and this is not an extensive list, but some foods that are higher in protein and also low in calories are things like chicken and turkey breasts, egg whites, shrimp and many seafoods, white fish, whey protein, canned tuna, and low or non-fat Greek yogurt. Now, another thing that's super helpful is eating a high fiber diet. Fiber, much like protein, has a high thermic effect of food. It's almost the same, and it also helps you feel more full. And oftentimes foods that are higher in fiber are also higher in your micronutrients, your vitamins and minerals, things that fuel the body well. So for women, I recommend eating around 20 to 30 grams of fiber per day, and men around 30 to 40 grams. Now you can do more if you like it and it helps you, but keep in mind, too much fiber can cause things like gastrointestinal stress, gasiness, bloating, constipation. So if you go above that and you feel fine, don't worry about it. But if you're getting those side effects, then try to bring it back down more into this range. And some examples of high fiber foods are things like fruits and vegetables, beans and lentils, oats, potatoes with skin, bran, and whole grain, whole wheat products. One thing you may have noticed is I haven't really covered, well, should you do more carbs or fat? And honestly, it's because it doesn't really matter. I know keto got the big craze and the low carb diet seems to be all the rage right now. But the thing is, if you eat more fat, yes, you burn more fat, but you also store more fat. If you eat more carbs, you burn more carbs, but you store more carbs. And research has consistently shown whether you prefer more carbs or more fat, as long as your calories and protein are the same, it really doesn't matter. So this is a good thing because it means whatever you like more, whatever you find more sustainable, then that's what's better for you. So don't get too caught up in it. But I do recommend not dropping your fat below about 20% of your total calories, which, speaking of sustainability, we always have to factor that in. So while I'm talking about a lot of nutrient dense foods, whole foods, eating a lot of protein, all this stuff is great, but don't forget to enjoy your life some. Allow yourself some treats in moderation. I promise it won't ruin everything. No such thing as foods that just store as fat. It doesn't work that way. It requires context of your overall diet. And if you just try to white knuckle your way through and ban all your favorite foods to the point where you end up binging on it and you end up with this all or nothing mindset, it's just a disaster. It's never going to work. Now with nutrition out of the way, that brings us to activity. What should you do exercise wise to help your body just kill belly fat? And honestly, the biggest mistake I see all the time is the most common mistake, and that's people over rely on cardio. I'm not saying that cardio is bad and that you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying it's pretty ineffective compared to some other forms of exercise. And the reason for this is because your body adapts to it pretty quickly and you end up burning less calories through the same amount of activity, and you just have to keep doing more and more and more to the point where by the time you get to your end goal, you're practically gonna be running marathons because your body is so adapted and you're just not getting much out of it and you're just exhausted and just tired of cardio. So if you really want to kill belly fat, far and away, the best form of exercise there is for this is a good strength training program, and there's a few different reasons for this. Yes, you burn calories during the exercise just like you do with cardio, but with cardio, when you do the exercise, once you're done, your heart rate comes back to normal, and almost immediately after that exercise, you stop burning additional calories. There was one study where they looked at people who ran a mile, and within 15 minutes after that exercise, their metabolic rate was right back down to baseline. But with strength training, research has shown for even up to 48 hours after your exercise, your body continues to burn additional calories above its baseline as it's trying to recover from that tough stimulus. Add on top of that, when you train, you're going to build muscle, which not only helps with body composition, but the more muscle you have on your frame, the more calories you burn naturally because it helps increase your metabolism. So it's like a trifecta of calorie burning that makes it so much more effective than cardio. That being said though, when you watch a lot of people train, there's a reason many people don't get great results out of it. Because again, remember, your body hates change. So you have to give it a reason to change. And to maximize your results and kill belly fat, you have to be training hard. I'm not saying short rest periods. I'm saying train close to failure. Those last couple reps should be slowing down significantly, be really hard. You should be making those ugly faces. It should burn. It is tough, but that's why it helps change you. And I recommend training at least 3 days per week, preferably more like 4 or 5 if you want to get the most out of it. Now, I know I just bagged on cardio, but I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it and that it's not helpful. You should be doing at least some cardio. The big thing is making sure you're focusing on the right intensity, because what a lot of people do is they hear that high intensity interval training is way better and it burns way more calories. What it ends up doing is it just destroys you. You're exhausted, you're already eating in a calorie deficit and you're training hard. Your energy levels are low, and what often ends up happening is you end up moving around less throughout the rest of the day because you're so exhausted from it, and you end up just burning less calories through your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and you didn't really get anything out of it. Not only that, but higher intensity forms of cardio oftentimes make you more hungry, and let's be honest, the biggest reason why many people struggle is they have a hard time dealing with hunger. Well, while HIIT makes you more hungry, walking actually tends to make you less hungry. It has a lot of great health benefits, and when you're utilizing activity at lower intensities like walking, it helps you tap right into those fat stores. Now, is it going to tap right into belly fat stores? I know that's the title of the video. I keep talking about belly fat. Here's the thing with belly fat. You actually can't spot burn it. Typically, you tend to lose a lot of your fat from other areas first, and then your belly fat is the last to go. So you're gonna need to be patient and give it time, but it will get to your belly fat stores if you stick with it. And hey, I used to be the guy who thought you had to just blast yourself and that walking didn't count, but I learned from my mistakes. And honestly, when I got the leanest and most shreddedest I've ever been in my entire life, I used just regular walking, like walking my dog and incline walking on a treadmill as my only forms of cardio that entire time. And if you wanna know how much I did and how much walking you should do, then check out this video next. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in that other video.